So what initially drew you to this project?
Definitely the people involved in it. Meryl joined as I was auditioning, but I think working with Philip Noyes, the director, and Jeff Bridges, and I think the story is so powerful and so moving, and the script was so good, especially a part like this for someone my age. It doesn't come very often.
Right. Did you read the book beforehand?
No, I read it after.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you think of the changes?
Well, I think the spirit is still there, and there's a lot of like hidden messages that Lois put in that really hit you, like, you know, how much we need to appreciate the beauty that we have in life, and you know, it is really relatable, and I think it's still relevant to the world today, even though it came out, like 20 years ago. I think it's, or 21, I think. It's still, all those issues, and all the, you know, things that Lois discusses in the book is still really relevant to today, and it was great. I read it super fast. It's a good read.
Yeah. What were some ways that you really kind of identified with your character? Some ways that you kind of learned that you're similar or different as you were portraying her?
Well, she doesn't have feelings in the beginning, and I'm very emotional, so I think that's like, you know, that was a little different, but she's a nurturer. She takes care of babies, and she's very motherly, and I have 4 younger brothers, and when they were all babies, I had to take care of them, and I love kids, and I love taking care of them, so I think that's something I related with.
Is that the role that you would have chosen if you got to choose an assignment?
I feel like they asked this question with me and Brenton. He was like, yeah, you'll definitely be a nurturer. And I think like when other people see it too, because I kind of thought about it, maybe I would be a nurturer if I was in the society.
What was like the funnest scene for you to shoot?
I loved all the scenes with the babies, and then there was a scene, it was an Italian wedding scene. It was a 19th century peasant wedding, and it was just so different. Like, that day was so different from everything else. We weren't like wearing those tight, like, you know, what was the, like, neoprene? I don't know, whatever the material, it was like a cold material. Like, I was wearing like a nice loose wedding dress and dancing and music. It was so different from the whole shoot, and I just really loved that day.
This is sort of like a bleak question, but one thing I think is so interesting about is like when Jonas gets all the memories back. If you could keep if like your entire memories were being erased and you could hold on to just one memory, what would you do? What would you hold on to?
Well, when I first came to America, I came from Israel, and I was here for a year before all my younger brothers came and my mom came, and I remember this really vividly, standing like at the end in the airport, and there was an escalator, and you could kind of see people's feet in the beginning, and every time the escalator was going down like this, I would look at people's feet and be like, is that them, is that them, I'm so waiting. And then I saw like 8 little feet and like someone like fighting with a bag with my mom, and then I was like, that's them, and they all ran and jumped on me because I hadn't seen them in so long. It was just such a happy, beautiful day for us, and we all still remember it, and I remember what one of my brothers was wearing. He was wearing a fox, because in Israel fox is like Gap, so he was wearing like a fox. Like, I don't know, they just see like English letters and Israelis think it's cool. Like, my brothers come here, they're like, we have to get t-shirts. Like, my older brothers get so many t-shirts with like Abercrombie, Hollister, like they think it's so cool. But yeah.
Do you like, I mean, because you're going to be in the John Green, aren't you in that new, are you in
Am I? No. I mean, I think they're still in pre-production.
Oh, yeah. Would you to do another book to movie role?
Yeah, I just did Goosebumps, which maybe that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love doing things that have an audience that people, you know, that people love so much, the story, and they connect to the story well, because it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit, because I think putting out a movie, especially these days, they don't put out, I think, as many movies as they used to, and when you do, it is taking a huge risk, and knowing that there is already a built-in audience that love this story so much, and you're telling a story that is loved by so many people, like going to Comic-Con and seeing all those fans, and meeting all these kids that say this book inspired me so much. It's a good feeling, so I'd love to.
Did you draw any inspiration from anything for your role?
Well, I did volunteer at a hospital in South Africa, with, and I just, because my character, she just has this natural touch, like, she just touches a baby a little bit and it stops crying. She just knows, it's very natural for her. So I did spend time with the nurses and just to get this feel, you know, just to get kind of like this natural instinct that Fiona has, which is just to make it believable that I would be assigned this position, just because I'm, like, everyone has kind of their destiny in this community, that this would be mine.
In the story, there's so many things that don't exist anymore because all of the emotions are erased. If there was one thing that you could save, what would you save?
I think love. I think love is just kind of what drives life. Like, not just being in love, but love towards something. Like, because that creates passion and that creates drive and that's why life has moved along, I think. Because people feel passionate about something, so they go for it. And, you know, I think that's what makes this community seem so harsh to Jonas once he falls in love with Fiona and realizes these other people, they don't have what I have, and they can't feel this feeling, and it's been taken away from them, and it's such a great, beautiful feeling that they're deprived of.
Were there any funny moments you had on set with working with the goofball of Brent?
I don't. What did he tell you? I don't know.
He started out with giving us some great jokes, and
Yeah.
then finished it off with some more jokes. So.
Yeah, it seems like him. Yeah, our senses of humor like work together, and I don't know. We just say stupid stuff all the time. And,
were there any pranks? Did you pull anything?
Not really, but there's a scene we did so many times in so many different angles. Like, there was a scene in this triangle, and then they were doing this angle. It was like 2 weeks of doing the scene, and it was like bird's eye view, so they couldn't. They had sound, but they couldn't really hear us. And he came in, and we were so sick of doing the scene. He's like, and he was, and he had like a walking scene. Like, he had to walk out at the end, so he's like, I'm never coming. All right, I'm leaving, never coming back, or like, do my hands smell like chicken or something? Like I just farted. I don't know. We could just say whatever we wanted to, and that was fun. And like one time I did his lines, and by the end of all the signing, I was just doing his autograph too. I was like, BTZ, like, and he didn't like that. Like, I drew hearts all over him. I made him really masculine. I made his autograph really good.
What was your favorite scene to film?
There was, I think the Italian wedding scene was really fun, and also there was a scene with the slide, which was really fun the first day after doing it, because you do it a lot. And the first time we ever rode that slide, I did get kind of a rush, so that was fun. But we did it in like so many little, it's this giant slide, so we did like the beginning of the slide, the middle of the slide, the end of the slide, and then they did a wide chunk with stunts, and then they did a lot of green screen and a lot of things like that. But the longest ride that we had to go through the first time was really fun.
What was it like? I mean, I don't. Brenton said that he didn't get to work that closely with Meryl Streep, but what was it like just even having the presence of like Meryl Streep and Jeff Bridges as like a young actress and kind of just, I guess, taking all of that in?
Well, they're very relaxed and very cool and amazing just to talk to. They're just really friendly, awesome people. And Jeff always told me, you know, not to take life too seriously, not to take this too seriously, and also don't be afraid to be the fool. Don't be afraid to just jump in. And I think him and Meryl, that's why they're so great at what they do, because they're totally relaxed and they're fearless and they're willing to go anywhere.
Have you seen the final movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Just
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
missed the
You
first
guys-
30 minutes because of traffic, LA, of course. So it did
It
get
gets
there in
better as
time.
it goes along.
But no, I saw the, I think like an hour of it, and
Yeah.
I loved it.
Great.
I was a little scared. I was like, man, I'm probably gonna be lost. But I read the book, so I know what's gonna happen and stuff. But I loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy to pick up too for people who haven't read it.
Yeah.
What would be like your dream role if you could choose to play a character that's either been done before or maybe one that you would like to see happen?
I want to do something. I've been thinking about this, but maybe something where I can do like a total transformation, like Charlize Theron in Monster. Because my characters are really different from me that I've played, but I want to do something that's just like, so just go through a whole transformation. I want to do something like that.
What made you get into acting?
Well, I have 4 younger brothers, and there's 2 sets of twins. They're 1 year apart. And when they were all babies, my mom would tell me, like, do something with them, occupy them, you know, I'm tired. Like, do something with these kids. So I would sit them on the step, like, one set on one step, and then one set on the step under it, and, like, they'd do whatever the teacher did at school, or princesses I saw on TV or something. And then they got older, and we would do plays at home, and we would do movies on iMovie, and I've always, you know, I've done plays at school. I did a monologue for my talent show. I've always loved it and always loved movies and plays.
Do any of your brothers act?
Just in my plays, but not anymore. And they won't play any more girl parts if you guys are They don't want to do that anymore.
So did you contact Lois or anything to get any insight into your character?
Well, when she came to set, I kept asking her all these questions. I was like, is this okay? Like, what I'm wearing? Did you see Fiona like this? Like, are you okay with this? Are you? And she was very, yeah, she was okay with a lot of the things. And I feel like people now can't complain. Like, if Lois Lowry says, I look okay, like, you can't be like, in the book, her eyes are brown. Like, you know, if she says it's okay, then, you know. But it's really exciting how involved she is in this.